Premiere on the EQ channel, right? You don't need to really see me that clear, right? But you can hear me. So check it out. We're going to talk about this recent news of cannabis causing cancer versus cigarettes. So recently, been in some, social media articles about some, I don't know, some people, I don't know if they're from some university or scientists claiming that cannabis does the same effects, gives the same effects as cigarettes with all those chemicals, saying that cannabis, weed, what been smoked for so long, it causes lung cancer, right? So if that's the case, what's the analytics, the statistics of how much people have died from lung cancer smoking marijuana? Because I never heard about this until recently, until yesterday, that cannabis causes the same effects like cigarettes, if not worse. But cigarettes is like all these chemicals from all these different places. Weed is a herb. And last thing I remember, the studies of weed, it does a lot of beneficial things for you instead of doing a lot of bad things to you, like cigarettes. So it's just coincidence that the legalization been more popular in the last couple of years, and it's been spreading everywhere, making markets, making money, and the cigarettes became less popular, aka tobacco. Tobacco companies been losing a lot of money to the cannabis industry, and they don't have control of the cannabis industry. So, is this the real thing? What's going on? Because I can look up the numbers. Let me show you, for example. Oh, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to tell you. Like in Canada, right? 2018 found that by smoking causes more than 45,000 deaths in Canada annually. And almost 1 in 5 of all deaths, 18.4% in the country. Smoking also causes each year 6.5 billion in direct healthcare cost and 16.2 billion in total economic costs including healthcare costs. Study was based on data from 2012 year. So, if you didn't get that clear, 45,000, right? They're saying 2018 found that smoking caused more than 45,000 deaths in Canada annually from tobacco. Now, if I was to look up the same thing for cannabis, will it be that same number? Interesting. I'm gonna look that up because 45,000 people annually, right, die from it. Interesting to see cannabis. Okay, how many people have died from weed? Can you die from marijuana? Most people who overdose on marijuana run no risk of dying from toxic changes in their normal body. So they don't have a study. This is where I'm going to get to because I see all these different links. No government released study that cannabis has killed people, right? Giving them lung cancer. There's no government official presentation, document, or any digital form presented claiming this. This is just on social media. That's why I've been hearing this, right? Either whoever done the study, it's not a global study. It's just like, opinion. Everybody has an opinion, right? Everybody has an opinion. So far I'm going through it. There's all these different articles. But when I look up for tobacco, the tobacco company, or like the people who died from cigarettes, it shows a number. It shows a number from the people who smoke uh, tobacco, cigarettes, that 45,000 people annually die from cigarette smoking. But as I look for cannabis, I can't find none of it. Can't find it. I cannot find it. It's the Myrie Jane podcast. You could also go to the Myrie Jane podcast YouTube, but we're doing special on the EQ channel. You can subscribe, right? So we're talking about this recent news that's making controversy that cannabis causes lung cancer. People been smoking cannabis for a long time, including my father. He's about in his 70s. So if there's a lot of people still around that age and younger, and they've been smoking cannabis for years and years, how come there's not a big rate I never heard of dying from smoking cannabis? Because some of these guys, they smoke cigarettes too, and weed. Like, who are you putting in this study, right? Remember, there's a lot of people who smoke weed and they smoke cigarettes. People forget that. But there's some people who just smoke weed, like how some people just smoke cigarettes. I just smoke weed. I don't smoke cigarettes. I know. I admit, we used to put grabba in there, tobacco back in the days as a mix, but I don't do that really. No, not. It's pure weed. I don't really do that. I don't really like the grabba either. You know what I mean? It's pure greenery. Yep, good for the scenery. But this whole thing about weed giving you lung cancer, how much weed do you have to smoke to get that? Because I know people buying like one, two, three, four, 5 packs a week, if not more. A guy will have like, a big pack. I don't know. I don't remember how much come in like a pack. You pay for over $5. It'll be maybe 25. I guess. I'm guessing. I don't remember because I don't smoke cigarettes. But it's something like that. I don't even smoke 10 spliffs a day. I don't smoke 10 spliffs a day. I know there's some hardcore smokers out there who might smoke maybe 7. But you remember, when I'm smoking, I'm always doing something. Some people, they relax a lot, and it makes them, makes them what people say lazy. Smoke this for the inspiration, you know? It gives a little left brain energy. But they want to say that this causes lung cancer. Okay, I admit how you take it in is similar like how people smoke cigarettes. But the chemicals, what they put in the tobacco, the nicotine, they're showing you the ingredients, what's in the cigarette. Okay, cannabis is legalized now. Do you see the ingredients, what's in it? They show you THC. There's no other ingredient, and if there's another ingredient, that's suspect, right? There's no other ingredient for cannabis but cannabis. But cigarettes, you can't say the same. Cigarettes have like all these different names. So, do I believe that when 45,000 annually die from cigarettes in Canada? Just Canada. I didn't do the study in America, but I'm guessing it's even higher. And when I look up for cannabis, how much people die from this, you hardly see, you don't see nothing. There's all these articles. It's like rumors. I call that rumors. There's no government article for that. Let me see. It just says the side effects. That's all. It's just telling you the side effects. Oh, and you see some saying if they overdose, like cannabis overdose. No, like it could take over your body. Yeah, everybody's different, but there's other factors probably in it because everybody is different, right? It's like drinking. Not everybody could drink like a five different, different type of drinks when it comes to alcohol. One drink and they're out, right? Or they're, tipsy already. Same thing with this. Cannabis causing lung cancer. You have to probably smoke, and like still they haven't hasn't come out fully. Like you have to smoke a lot of weed for that to happen out, like a lot. And I still didn't hear nothing like that. They're just coming up with these rumors. It's like rumors. It's not government, what the government put out there, even though you can't believe everything the government says, right? But they haven't even put it out there. So you gotta wonder. It's the Mary Jane podcast. I got the podcast on Spotify. This podcast, we talk about weed. It's a weed theme podcast for the ones who are going on the EQ channel to overstand. Trying to get some more educators, artists, entrepreneurs in the cannabis community. You can check out the podcast on the myrie Jane podcast YouTube channel too. I got a whole bunch of episodes on that, but I'm premiering one of the episodes on the EQ channel, right? For you to know what's going down. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to smoke and you love, I'll be doing reviews, more reviews, cannabis news. Mary Jane podcast. Smoke that. Yeah, spliff. Mm-hmm. So this article claiming that cannabis causes cancer, lung cancer. The last thing I can remember with cannabis is that it's good to stop cancer or slow it down. Now they're saying it causes lung cancer. Man, maybe it's the stuff what the government is selling. Is it that what you're trying to say now? Because the weed is being sold by the government, so you want the same type of shit labeling like what they do to cigarettes, because or the tobacco companies are losing to cannabis because cannabis looks more, you know, it's more attractive. It's more healthy, so they wanna, it's like they want the same shit to happen to them because they've been losing money. The new generation, they're not smoking cigarettes like before. You're not seeing them chilling out of a high school, outside of the high school smoking on a bogey or what you call it, or cigarette. Not seeing that anymore. But this is a study. I don't even know who came up with this study. I feel like checking it out. Let me check it out. See something. They say what? What was it? Weed. Google this. Okay, let me read this out. Right? It says this is about the weed shit too, with the cigarette shit, first cigarette shit. However, while a few small, uncontrolled studies have suggested that heavy, regular marijuana smoking could increase risk for respiratory cancers, well designed population studies have failed to find an increased risk of lung cancer associated with marijuana use. Okay, to be fair, that's so this in. However, I'll read it over again. However, while a few small uncontrolled studies have suggested, uncontrolled studies, so they're not controlled by the government or anyone who has real authority, have suggested that a heavy regular marijuana smoking could increase the risk of respiratory cancers, well-designed population population studies have failed to find the increased risk for lung cancer associated. So, could we listen to all this shit? Excuse my language. What we're hearing, I just Google it, and what does it say? There's no controlled study to verify this, right? And it's like the whole thing, what I just read, you'll listen to it and it doesn't make no sense. So they're just trying to make up something because they're losing money. The tobacco industry's been losing money ever since the popularization of cannabis came haunting them. This is the real deal, right? I'm reading it. Okay, let me read this. What are marijuana's effects on lung health? Okay. This is not National Institute of Drug Abuse. There's so much of these organizations. You don't even know if they're associated with a political party, right? They could have some knowledge of stuff, but you don't know. Where is this coming from? Like, it's better. I know it's more better that you know that it's coming actually from the Canadian government or the American government, so you know that this is for real. But there's like these different organizations that they all have their opinions. Everybody could have their opinion. It's interesting, right? It says like tobacco smoke, marijuana smoke is an irritant to the throat and lungs and causes heavy cough during use. It also contains what level volatile chemicals and tar that are similar to tobacco smoke, raising concerns about the risk for cancer and lung disease. So, you tell me in all these years, weed was even illegal and they know people are smoking it. And now, when it's legalized, more places, they come up with all this, what you should call this, propaganda or what, right? This mumbo jumbo. Now that it's more popular, so they want to scare people not to smoke. They want to cut it down now, scare people not to smoke it. And even the people who thought of like they didn't smoke, but they're thinking of trying it. I see what they're doing because the tobacco companies, the great big zillion trillion dollar companies are losing money now because the cannabis industry is here and they don't control it. That's the real deal, man. They don't control the cannabis industry. So they're gonna scare everybody. Cannabis. Say, this is all politics, man. Cannabis causes lung cancer. So, are they talking about the cancer now? Like what they're making up? Because cannabis, people been smoking for a long time before I was born. There's people still alive who've been smoking cannabis before I was born, and they're still smoking it, healthy as ever. I don't know, but I know for a fact a bunch of people who've been smoking cigarettes for a long time, for even as they're not around. I know I've been hearing about different stories, man. A lot of times, hand in hand, a lot of people smoke, they drink too. So that's what adds to adds to it, the addiction, right? So this is the Mary Jane podcast, right? Take it in because there's an article going around or all through the net. This info about cannabis causing lung cancer and it's more worse than cigarettes. And cigarettes, they put all types of stuff in it, like from all different things they use in industrial to like it's crazy, like all types of chemicals they put in cigarette tobacco and they sell it. They actually put all these, like, I wish I had a pack of cigarettes so I could read the ingredients, and then they put a warning what it could do to you, like they're showing you. a picture, a graphic image that it will do this to you. So it's your choice. So what they want to do, I guess that cost them a lot of money through the years putting that on. So they want the weed companies now to have some type of thing on to kind of scare people from smoking weed. This is a scare tactic. They just want to scare you, right? They just want to scare you from stop smoking weed, man. That's it. This is the Myrie podcast. Bless up. Subscribe. Tune in. Support the Myrie podcast on the EQ channel.